everyone, my name is Rafal and welcome to my vlog. So before I jump into today's vlog, I would like to invite everyone from San Diego area to join my workshop, which will be at the end of this month. I'll put all the information down in the description, and also I will have special discount code for all my viewers. If you have any specific questions, you guys know how to find me. I'll be more than happy to answer all your concerns. I'm super excited. I've never been in San Diego and I'm really looking forward to meet all of you guys there and have this fantastic workshop. So let's jump into today's vlog, and today I would like to talk about business side of headshot photography, and I would like to focus on negotiations. I deeply believe that negotiations is one of the most crucial part of getting clients. And since I started headshot photography, I have to tell you that I've made a lot of mistakes and I've learned a lot, and I would like to share some of those mistakes I've been doing, and hopefully those mistakes and those things I would like to share with you guys will help you with your future negotiations or give you some new perspective how to approach some of those things and how to be better in dealing with clients. So the mistake number one, and I think which is one of the biggest one, not being prepared for negotiations. And I think this is one of those things which I think all of us has to go through, especially when we're starting off. We don't kind of know what's going on. We don't know much about our packages. There's a lot of things which client might ask you and you might not have answer. So it's better to be prepared and have somehow this whole thing written down and memorized. So when you kind of sit down to the table with your client, you have all those potential answers ready, and you're not going to be surprised by something from your client which might kind of like, you know, kind of put you in the bad spot, and the client will pretty much decide that okay, he doesn't know those answers and he don't know what he's doing. I'm probably gonna have to find someone else. So I know it's a process. I know you have to learn some of those things, but the more information you know about your business, the more information you know about what kind of stuff client might ask you, you're gonna be better off, and you're gonna pretty much look better, and you're gonna have way better chances to get the client. So the point number two is not building relationships. And I know this is something which is very, very hard. Sometimes we really don't want to be in a relationship with our clients, but you guys have to listen to this, because this is something very important, and this is something which takes time. I know sometimes we are in the rush. We would like to get the client to sign up right away. We want to get the contract. We want to shoot their headshot. But sometimes those things takes time. Just because someone approaches you and you just kind of tell them the prices, you tell them what you do, and they like your work, doesn't mean they're gonna hire you right away. Sometimes it takes time. You have to kind of nutrition this relationship. You have to give your clients answers, and it sometimes is very time consuming. And I remember when I started, I was very impatient. I was very like, I want to get this client right away. I want to work with this person, but I always have those, I would say, high expectations. Whenever someone approaches me and I gave them all the answers, I gave them all the information, seems for me that they like my work. Whenever they didn't get back to me, I was just like frustrated and angry. But that's sometimes we have to kind of like approaches that we don't have huge expectations from the client, and we have to just kind of help them along the way to get to the point they are ready to sign with you. So again, be patient, take time, help the client make the decision, and you will see you'll benefit. Don't kind of throw emotions right away, and don't have, I would say, expectation that every client will comes into your door, you will have to sign up with them right away. Those things unfortunately takes time, and you have to be prepared for that. So the next big mistake a lot of photographers do is not listening to the client. And I remember back in the days, whenever I meet with the client, I was the one who was talking, and I was just giving them all the informations and prices and everything to kind of like give them all of those stuff so they can make a decision. But nowadays I changed my approach a little bit. Now I'm trying to kind of do a little bit of reverse engineering and listen to the client first. So what you do is you basically ask the client about all their needs, whatever they're looking for, and that also kind of gives you entire blueprint what they're looking for, so you can actually direct those negotiations the way so you can provide only those informations to the client which the person needs. You don't want to throw all those unnecessary stuff and try to convince the client that you're a good headshot photographer and you have the best prices and all this stuff. They don't have to listen to them. You have to listen to them first, and you have to understand where they're coming from, what they're looking for, what they need. And that's definitely is going to not only speed up the negotiations, but it also is going to show you that you're the listener and you're the person who is interested in them. I know we're living in a world where everyone is selfish, and unfortunately that's the way it is. And there's also, when it comes to our clients, they're looking what they're going to benefit them, but we have to play the game that we have to listen to them, and we have to kind of approach the entire negotiations the way so we can provide them what they're looking for, not what we want to sell them. So remember that it's extremely important, and you also see massive shift in your negotiations. Listen first and then provide them with the information which they're looking for. So the next big mistake I've noticed, and this is what I was doing for a long time, is pushing too much. So whenever we get the client, we are actually in the first stages of negotiations, and then everything kind of pauses, and then we're waiting, and we try to kind of push on the client to basically sign up with us or shoot the headshot. And what happens is that most of the times is throwing people off, and they angry and they upset, and then they kind of sense our insecurities, and they know we're desperate to get them. Again, patient is extremely important. Another thing what I've noticed that whenever I got the client, and that was my huge mistake, the client approaches me, they're looking for a headshot, and whenever I didn't hear from them, the one thing what I was doing, I was trying to kind of get them by giving them a discount. And that was another huge mistake. Don't do that, because this is also again going to show that you're desperate to get the work. So you basically have to kind of slow down a little bit this process. And I said before, sometimes those things takes time, and you need to really be patient when it comes to negotiations. I know I'm going to be repeating myself with being patient, but this is one of the things where you have to learn, and you have to somehow implement it into your negotiations, because that's what's going to also kind of put you on the top. Because whenever you're impatient and you start pushing too much, this is not a good thing, and usually that's kind of ends it up with you losing the client. So remember, pushing it's a not good thing. Whenever you get to this kind of like anxious behavior, try to, I don't know, do a few breaths and give yourself a little bit of time and try to kind of analyze the situation the next day. But again, pushing the clients is the worst thing what you can do. So the next biggest mistakes I found is focusing on the price. Those kind of negotiations, when it comes to how much the client's gonna have to pay you, I would definitely leave at the very end of negotiations. If you start off your negotiations is how much it's gonna cost them to shoot their headshots, this is something which is gonna again put you in the very bad spot. And also dwelling on the prices and try to explain the client why you're charging this much. You have to be very careful about this. In my opinion, you have to be confident about your prices, and you really have to know how much you can negotiate. But again, this is something which you discuss at the very end. Don't throw the prices at the very beginning. It's a different story when the client comes in and like, okay, the first question is like, hey, how much is gonna cost me to shoot the headshot? What I would suggest is I would basically tell the clients, well, why don't we discuss what is important for you and what you're looking for, and then we're going to get into the prices. So leave the prices alone at the beginning, especially of the negotiations, because usually when you jump into this right away, it's not going to do any good for you. And I found whenever people were discussing the money, that's when the most tension comes in, and you have to be very, very careful that you know, the client don't really understand where even those prices are coming from. So as I said, it's important to leave that at the very, very end, and don't touch this, especially at the beginning of any negotiations. So the next big mistakes I think a lot of photographers do is trying to beat competition. And I've been in those kind of negotiations where the client comes in and they like, well, we have those 5 options and you're one of them, and they tell you the name or whatever, and then you start kind of like doing everything to beat the competition. So this is again really bad mistake. Another thing what I want to mention, whenever you get into negotiations and whenever any names comes up, never say any bad thing about any other photographer. What you personally think about certain people in your industry, it's your personal stuff, but leave those things for yourself and never ever share them with the clients. Because if you start bad mouthing other photographers and bad mouthing other people, I think this is very unprofessional, and this is not going to show you from the good side. So again, whenever you get into negotiations, try to, again, don't discuss much about your competitions, and don't try to beat them by the prices, whatever. That also is going to show you that you are insecure, you're not sure, that you're desperate to get the work. And you have to be confident about your stuff, you have to be confident about your work. And whenever you leave that on the side and you try to avoid even getting into this kind of conversations, that's also gonna, I deeply believe, benefit you. And I've done these mistakes once, and believe it or not, the client didn't hire me. And also point this out, like whenever you get into negotiations, never talk about other photographers, because this is automatically no for a lot of clients that you have that kind of approach. So I've learned big lesson back in the days, and I remember this till today. Like, I've been in those situations when someone was trying to pull out some of those informations from me, but this is automatically a red flag for me, and I'm not going to talk about it at all. So remember that this is very helpful, and I'm sure it's gonna benefit you for the long run. So the last thing that I would like to talk about is giving an ultimatum. So this is something which also I've been doing for a long time, and that was a huge mistake. And what I mean by giving ultimatum is, so basically you have a client and they want to hire you, and they basically got quiet, and you try to kind of push them in the corner to basically give you some kind of answer. And what I was doing back in the days, which right now is very shameful for me, I was telling them, well, I have some other shoots and I don't even know I'm going to be able to do your headshot, so please let me know what's going on, where are we at, and what are we going to be doing. And this is, again, whenever you start pushing pressure on your clients, it's not going to do any good for you. It's good to follow up with the clients, where they at, if they make any decisions, if there's anything else you can help them to give them some kind of clarifications, or do they have any concerns, and just kind of wait. If the client doesn't respond, that means basically, you know, they maybe found someone else or there's something going on. But again, just giving this kind of like putting the client in the corner and just kind of forcing them to kind of make a decision, or doing something which they're not ready yet for, that's another big no-no, and that's also something which might kind of throw you off. And that's what I was saying, that might throw off your clients from hiring you. And this is what I was saying in the beginning, like, you have to be patient, and you don't have, you can't have like too much expectation that everyone will hire you. And this is extremely important, because that's what's going to kind of build the foundation of your business and getting the clients. So I know there's a lot of things which I was talking about. I hope those informations will definitely help you guys out with your next negotiations. I will be looking forward to hear from you guys, and if there's anything else you would like to add or comment it, feel free to put some comment into description, or you can contact me directly. I'll be more than happy to have a much deeper conversation about this process. So again, thank you for watching. Stay tuned and I'll chat with you guys shortly. Bye bye. Stay tuned and I'll talk to you guys very soon. Bye bye.